Hi everyone, and welcome back. Today we are taking a closer look at a synth that has become a beloved classic, the Korg Volca Keys. Korg released this synth back in 2013 as part of the first Volca generation. Back then, the market of portable and affordable synths was still an uncharted territory, and the Volca range was really groundbreaking. But today, 11 years later, does it remain a relevant tool for music creation? And if so, is it a good synth for ambient musicians? I have been a Volca Keys user since the early days, so in this video I'm going to share with you my experience and my thoughts about it. The first thing that it's worth mentioning about the Volca Keys is definitely the sound. In fact, at its own heart lies its true strength, pure analog synthesis. Unlike some digital emulations, this synth delivers that warm, greedy, and unmistakably analog character that we all love. It's perfect for creating those timeless retro sounds, from pulsating bass lines to haunting leads, but also plucks, strings like fat chords, and so on. These sounds are so classic that they will never be out of fashion. The Volca Keys boasts 3 oscillators and is capable of producing 3 different waveforms as a sawtooth, square, and triangle. While many analog synths are monophonic, the Volca Keys is paraphonic. It means that it has a kind of polyphony that allows you to play up to 3 notes at once, but they share the same filter, LFO, and EG. It's limited compared to some bigger synths, but still quite impressive given the size and price of this machine. There are other modes beside the polyphonic mode that work in unison, and there's even a poly-ring mode. But are these sounds any good for ambient music? You can bet. This versatility allows you to create complex detuned chords, unison lines that are great for drones, soft pads, and even metallic sounds using the ring modulator. Let's hear some examples. The feature that I really love the most about the Volca Keys is probably its dedicated low-pass filter with resonance control that gives you the power to sculpt your sounds precisely. It's the same filter you can find on the popular MS-10 or MS-20. If you turn the resonance to the max, you can really make the filter scream and change the sound dramatically, or create impressive sweeps. There's also a built-in digital delay effect with adjustable time and feedback parameters that further enhances the sonic possibilities of the Volca Keys. You can create vintage tape-style delays or use the delay time for pitch fluctuations. Even though I'm not really fond of this particular delay, and I would have preferred an analog delay with way more feedback, it's still possible to find a creative way to use it, as I have shown in another video. One problem of this digital delay is that it creates a spike around 20 kHz that we can't really hear and doesn't really affect the audio quality. But you'll notice it if you record the audio in your computer and look at it through a frequency analyzer. I was told that it's possible to do some modifications on the machine to obtain a cleaner output signal, but I've never tried myself. Anyway, the issue will not prevent you to use this synth even in a professional recording if you want. The Volca Keys features a 16-step loop sequencer with internal memory for up to 8 patterns. You can record your musical phrases directly from the synth's multi-touch keyboard and use the overdub function to build intricate sequences. Personally, I never use the sequencer really in-depth because for complex sequencing, I found it much easier to use an external sequencer through the MIDI input. But it's great to know that this unit is also completely standalone and works great in a dawless setup. The keyboard is small but quite playable, and the sequencer has some features that could be useful if you are into live improvisation and synth jams. In fact, you can have real-time control over your patterns by using the active step function to selectively disable steps, creating unique rhythmic variations. I haven't used these features a lot because it doesn't fit my style, but that depends on you, of course. You can also use the flux function to record notes unquantized for a more organic feel, and take your sequencing to the next level with the motion sequence function. It means you can record knob movements to automate parameters changes during playback, adding dynamic variations to your loops. What I find really interesting from the ambient musician perspective is the possibility to use the Volca Keys as a drone synthesizer. It lacks a note hold function and infinite sustain, but there are a couple of simple tricks that will allow you to turn it into a great drone machine. I made a couple of videos where I go in depth with it. I'll leave you the link in the description. You definitely have to check them out if you didn't know about these hacks. Besides having a great sound by itself, the Volca Keys reveals its true potential for ambient music when paired with a good effect, such as a delay, a reverb, or a chorus. You can use any effect pedal for a dawless rig, or simply run it into your DAW and use your favorite VST. There are plenty of options. I'll let you hear an example. The Volca Keys offers sync-in and MIDI-in connectivity, allowing you to synchronize it with other units or your DAW. This opens up a world of possibilities for collaborative music creation. I find the MIDI-in useful for external sequencing or connecting a bigger keyboard, but I'm not really interested into sync. In fact, as ambient musician, I often like to keep my loops unsynced to create unpredictable sound textures. The Volca Keys is incredibly compact and lightweight. It runs on 6AA batteries or an optional adapter and features also a built-in speaker, which is not much use in my opinion except for some quick tests. Anyway, it's perfect for music creation on the go or if you have limited space in your room, as I have. Despite its simple interface, the Volca Keys packs a surprising amount of depth and power. It's an instrument that encourages experimentation and sound design, making it a great choice for both beginners and experienced synth users alike. I think that also the elegant look and the design are a source of inspiration. After all, who likes to play with an ugly machine? Last but not least, a thriving community of Volca Keys users has emerged online, providing a wealth of resources, tutorials, sound patches, and forums for support and inspiration. One other interesting possibility is that it is open to modifications. Korg made it easy for skilled users to come up with interesting personalizations, and you can still find many resources online. As you can see, I made a mod myself back in the days by adding an extra MIDI port. It is a MIDI through port that allows you to connect more devices in a chain without using a MIDI splitter. So, to sum it up, in my opinion, the Korg Volca Keys remains a relevant and powerful synth in 2024. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what your favorite thing is about the Volca Keys, and if you have any questions, leave them down below.